Welcome back to the April 6th edition of Talkin' Dirty. I'm, one of your hosts, Pat Reiser, and to my left is, a guy that doesn't really need an introduction, Brett Hearn. How's everything, Brett?
Having a good week.
Ooh, how about it?
Having a good week.
My goodness.
I'm just thrilled, first of all, that we got so many phone calls. I've got so many texts and so many phone calls from the racers.
Yeah.
And, those guys have been my friends for a long time. And just to hear from everybody and hear that, how happy they are with the what we dealt with them, what we dealt to them on Saturday night. So I think that, just my overall feeling is that coming out of the gate with a nice event to open the season with great track conditions and great racing.
And hopefully we get everybody back. I mean, hopefully we get more people back. You know what I mean? I'm excited for Saturday.
Well,
I'm genuinely very excited to race on that surface.
I bet you are.
But
I have to tell you,
just saying.
My answer to everyone has been, word of mouth is our best friend.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we got going for us this week. So
absolutely,
I'm thrilled about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of things happened on Saturday. Not only the absolutely flawless racetrack that was prepared, but we had fans. First time back in the stands, so we wanted to welcome you guys back. It was absolutely awesome to see the drive-in packed and fans in the grandstands and everything felt normal. Like I was on my way home and I was kind of thinking about it, kind of reflecting on what happened, and that was like my first slice of hey.
We're going in the right direction.
A little bit of normality, it was good. It was good for the soul. So
we're definitely going. It was really nice to see real bodies in the stands and present a show based on what people are seeing in the grandstand, and we know it's only going to get better moving forward this season. So it was a really good way to start the season, and just thrilled to be after it again Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so fans back in the stands and teams back in the infield.
Yeah, teams back in the infield. Our little experiment to try to put a little bit of effort by Doug to move the 13.6 trailers to the center of the pits, created much better visibility than we've had in recent history.
Yes.
So that seems like that's going to work out really well. We got another great show coming up this week.
I was going to say, on Saturday we're going to have the small box with the rookies. With the rookie sportsmen come back. Gates are going to open at 4, right? Cars on track at 6. Admissions going to be $20 for adults, $16 for kids.
Seniors.
12
and under is free.
Yes, and 12 and under is free. Right. But yeah, I cannot express to you how excited I am to kind of get a little slice of that.
Well, you're going to be in the driver's seat this week.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited because I'm a little bit of a jealous guy when it comes to missing out on things. Man, that looks like a hell of a good time.
So we're going to go back and do the same thing we did last week. We can pre-sell general admission tickets in advance for a certain section. If you have a section that you prefer, we are at 20% capacity, so in the stands. Again, drive-in's wide open. And there was a little bit of confusion about the drive-in itself at the beginning.
Yes.
About the reserve drive-in. You don't have to reserve a spot. We are doing that strictly for the convenience of the people that don't want to get here 3 hours early to try to get a spot that they like.
Yep.
It's purely a convenience that we do through the office, and you aren't required to do that.
Nope.
You aren't required to buy your tickets in advance. But
it is kind of a nice thing.
It's a nice thing to know that your spot's there when you get here, even if it's at the last minute.
Yeah.
So it's more of a convenience. It's something that we offered last year out of necessity, and thought, well, there's a bit of demand for this. People want to come here, and then of course last week when the forecast got colder as we got towards the weekend, actually it ended up being a pretty decent day, but. A lot of people that bought tickets for the stand said, I think I want to sit my car.
I want to sit my car.
And so we had to move some people back over to the drive-in, which works out fine.
Which was just fun.
One of the luxuries of Orange County is that we have a drive-in section like we do.
And getting ready to go green on both the sportsman and the modified feature. I'm in the infield, and I'm sure wherever your your station when this is going on, the backstretch absolutely lights up. You know what I mean?
It does.
It's quite the sight.
I mean,
it's pretty cool.
That tradition of the drive-in and the headlights blinking on the parade lap has been there since the '60s. It's been there at least since my first race here in '75.
Yeah.
And Saturday night was really probably one of the best light shows.
I was gonna say that was it was
so
definitely.
Now, the next step is going to be to have the people in the grandstands do the light on their camera.
On their phones. Yeah, to get it back to them.
To get it back to them.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like our own little Orange County wave.
We'll have a little battle of the lights.
That's right. Yeah.
something to think about, right?
Yeah, but if you can't get to the racetrack, which is kind of unfortunate, but we still have the streaming available. Streaming was, in my opinion, very, very good on Saturday, and it's $19 for the night, and you get to sit on your couch and you don't have to drive home.
I still think I think Saturday night was our best show we've done so far. The graphics were good.
Yes.
The clarity was awesome. Obviously, because we had a better track to work with, less dust, and so the clarity was really good. The cameramen are getting trained better and better.
Yeah.
The graphics were really good, and it was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I got to give a lot of credit to that crew. They've been learning on the run, just like we all have, and they continue to get better and better. The drone shots, like we talked about amongst ourselves before we started the show tonight, are just amazing. They make the place look spectacular.
Yeah. It's really well done. Really well done.
And we have a small percentage of people that have complained about some glitching issues at home, when yet others have. The majority of the people, by far the majority, have had no problem at all. So we're trying to Jake's trying to address some of those issues to see if there's any way we can help those people.
Yeah.
But we got to believe that it's probably something on their end, because if it wasn't on their end, then everyone would have a problem.
Everybody, yeah.
And so these are things that we need to look at, see if we can correct, at least have a hotline or some way we can help people out in the midst of the stream.
Yeah, so. And just know we're not doing it on purpose. Promise. We want you to watch the race just as much as everybody else does.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
we want to make this thing as perfect as we can make it.
Absolutely.
Because this stream is making it convenient for not only people that can't come to the track from this locality. But there's people from Europe that are watching it, Florida, Texas, California.
Watch it all over.
The Carolinas.
Yeah.
People are watching this from all over the place.
Yeah,
so, we want to make this as good as we can make it.
Absolutely. And now I've got this kind of underlined and exclamation pointed, and we've already touched on it a couple times, but the track crew needs a round of applause and then some.
Yeah,
right? My goodness.
Look, I started working with those guys, a couple weeks ago, and trying to explain what I learned last year. Carmen gave me some input on what he thought. We did that. And when we put the whole thing together, but of course it's a very nerve-wracking thing. You can ask Matt Janiak about that. That's why we talked about. That's why he went back to racing. It was too nerve-wracking to prep the track, and by the time we all got our heads put together, we've come up with a formula that I think that's really going to work well, and obviously worked well Saturday night. But we also had a good practice last Tuesday too.
Yes.
So those two things combined, I feel like we're really on the right track to keep this going. It's going to be a work in progress. I'm sure that it's going to get more difficult as we get towards the hotter summer weather. But I think that we have a plan.
Just like everything else, there's going to take some adjustment on the fly. You know what I mean? You're not going to roll out of the trailer perfect every night.
And quite honestly, a lot of things that we are doing, we learned through that stretch, and I've probably said this already, but we learned through that stretch last year when we were doing those tests and tunes when Matt and I were doing the track, and we were learning things weekly, and now I'm able to apply some of those things with some of the things that Carmen's taught me, with Anthony, working on the water truck and trying to get that dialed in, and so it's going to be good.
You better watch out. You might get pretty good at this. On another note, we have 20 rookies entered for this week's 12-lap feature. There is still time to get in.
There is.
And we are looking forward to having... There's been a lot of demand, right? You've said that there has been a ton of...
The response and the enthusiasm for the rookie class has been amazing. And like we talked about last time, we have a very diverse field of drivers all ages, genders.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be all over the place. And because we're up to 20 now, what we've decided to do is if we do have a rookie race that's rained out, we will reschedule it for the following week on their off weekend. So they need to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And it's just because the demand is so high, we never expected it to be this high, that we want to make sure they get as close to 6 races in before graduation right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As possible.
Absolutely.
So, we also plan on giving them two sets of hot laps.
2 sets of hot laps. Yes, that's what I was going for. Yep.
2 sets of hot laps before their feature, just to give them as much track time as we possibly can.
Yep. And lineup is already set. That's actually on our Facebook page, correct, Jake? That was released. Yes. Perfect. Yeah.
And the other news in the rookie division is, last week MJK Home Improvement or Home Maintenance came on and donated $100 to second place in the rookie, and then last night friends and family of Pete Gardner. Pete Gardner was a friend of mine.
One hell of a guy.
And he was I called him Pistol Pete, which I think stuck a little bit because he would be the guy that would run for your engine.
I was going to say,
run for your engine in Indiana,
and
he would run for parts for you. I mean,
the only thing he wanted in return, just put me on a car. Just put me on a car.
Put my decal.
Yeah, put my decal on a car. That's all I want. Great guy.
He was
great guy.
He spent a lot of time in my shop, and he was like one. I mean, here's a guy. He said, "I need you to go to Rochester." Okay, end of story. He didn't ask you how to get there. He didn't have, there was no.
There was no. Okay, I'll go.
And he executed, right?
Yep.
He executed it.
Yep.
He's got a lot of friends still in the business, and they are going to donate $56 to the. 56 is the magic number for him to the third place, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he is also nicknamed Astro Pete.
Yeah, Astro.
Because he always had an Astro band.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Astro band, they stopped making them like 40 years ago. He always had an Astro band.
I think 03. So Orange County is also going to welcome back True Hotels as the official hotel of the Speedway over on Dunning Road in Middletown. And Eastern States is coming before you know it, I promise. So that's going to fill up quick. So make sure to give those guys a call.
Yeah, we have a special rate there. If you mention
there you go.
You're coming to the Speedway, they've got a rate for you there. That's a little bit favorable. So always mention that if you book a room there, mention that you're coming to the Speedway for something.
There you go. There you go.
We have had some questions about VP racing fuel still. I'm still hoping to have some of that resolved by the weekend. Apparently, like a lot of, from what I'm hearing, a lot of other parts for race cars. Fuel is in short supply this week, and there may not be any, which is the preferred fuel in the 358 division is 109, and that may not be available. We probably should have some 12 here, and hopefully some 98. But again, if there's no guarantee that that's going to happen, so be prepared for
bring your own.
For an alternative. If you can get it somewhere else, go and do that. And when we get this together and we get this delivery,
BYOF for this week. Yep.
Right.
BYOF.
Yep.
So not only do we have True Hotels, coming on board again, but we have all divisions sponsored.
We have a title sponsor for every single division.
Every division.
And I'll let you run through that.
Please, because I've been practicing this one in the mirror. We have United Rentals for our big block division. HO Penn coming on board again for the small blocks. Arkel Motors is going to be our sportsman division title sponsor. We're going to have Precision Hydraulics and Oil for our rookies.
Correct.
And we are going to have the Northeast Parts Group of Napa. For our street stuff.
They're the Napa stores in the area. So
any
of those people that you can support, please do.
Tell them we sent you.
We also have other partners like Hoosier Tire, BP, Racing Fuels. If they ever deliver us any fuel, we'll be partners with them. But we have them.
You said that, not me.
I know. Middletown Car Wash, Texas Roadhouse, Wicked Truck Works, Barron's Performance Warehouse, Recon has done the halfway award for the sportsman on a weekly basis. Rapper Tire, Hauser Brothers, just to name a few. and there's a few more to come. And we'll
your team's always working, aren't they?
They are working.
So the cool part about the stream and everything that is going on with the racetrack is if you missed out on the race on Saturday, which I do feel bad for you, you can catch it on YouTube. Just literally Google or YouTube search OCFS. Go right to the racetrack's page, Orange County Fair Speedway YouTube page.
Jake has edited a version of the stream, of the full stream, narrowed it down a little bit, but it's still pretty full. And
everything is there.
If you don't believe what we're saying, you gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it, and you can kind of like pick and choose what you want to watch. If you're after the sports and race, then you can just skip right to that. But you're gonna miss out on a whole lot of other good stuff. So.
Now, I don't know, the other thing is, I don't know how many people this week saw the announcement, and we really didn't want to talk about too much, but they've decided that, or I should say, Mr. Larson's decided to pave the track by October. And we put that out on Facebook this week, and actually, there were people that actually bid on it. April Fools. Amazing. But, yeah.
Amazing what a really good Photoshop picture would do.
That was a great.
That was great.
Jake, that was a great picture.
Yeah, Jake
well,
put that together.
Well done on our April Fool's joke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. You were obviously convinced several people, not dozens.
I was going to say how many people called and said, "I want to hear it right from your mouth that it's going to happen." No, and if we gotcha, we don't mean anything by it, but.
But your name is on the comment.
Yeah, you got to be aware. We're always on our toes here, man.
ROC called the book a race.
yeah. There you go. We have, Saturday night we did the autism awareness,
which was awesome.
Night, which worked out really well. And we in the drivers' meeting we gave out decals to the competitors, and obviously Tommy Meier won the $1,000 bonus for sporting the decal. The three top guys in the sportsman division had their purses doubled by, what was it, Big Diamond, right?
Diamond Home Service.
Diamond Home Service. And they got their purses doubled for the first three spots, which is spectacular.
It's not bad.
Because of that. And now it's been announced this week that from this point on, we have a $100 bill for that decal on every car that wins in every division. Every division. That's a nice little bonus. So we can make that announcement tonight.
That is very cool.
Things continue to grow and go in the right direction.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of the autism kind of trend, the 50/50 donation was absolutely astonishing. We donated. The 50/50 generated just under $1,500, so it was $1,458.79 to the AMOC, which is Autism Move-a-thon of Orange County, and that was all donated from the 50/50, like I said,
and from
three times now,
and
other donations from the fans. Yeah, right. So that's absolutely amazing. Kind of speaks volumes as to what kind of people come to the racetrack.
And we also had some other donations from one of our sponsors as well, didn't we, Pete?
We had many.
Some of our sponsors also donated as well. So that's much appreciated. I think that was a good thing.
It's great. It's a great thing. Can't get enough.
Now we did end the car show this week, the online car show.
Absolutely.
Which has replaced the real car show.
Yes.
At least for the moment.
For now. That's
we got some good participation on it. First of all, the division winners were voted on by the fans. Those winners were Rich Urich, Corey Camire, Cody Higbee, and Paul Harding. And those guys are the ones that won the divisions. They've got some prizes coming, and the overall winner was Corey. So that was the conclusion of the car show. If you want to go online and see those pictures, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Great exposure for their sponsors on our website.
Yeah.
And had a little fun with it while we could.
I was going to say, not only did Corey get a tire, but he got a pit pass too.
I believe he did.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Like we've advertised the whole time. It's not like we just kind of like sprung this on him. But yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Sharp looking retro car, I believe. that it was. I believe.
Well,
it was
you know
a
what?
retro car.
It's unique. It's unique the way they did that with
The gradient and everything like that.
with the graphics
Yep.
and
Yeah, it was
figures
awesome.
and stuff. It was just a different look.
Yeah, that
Very,
was awesome.
very cool.
The motocross is starting. Well, motocross has kind of already started, but motocross is going to start on Saturday. Full practice on Saturday. I'm not a motocross guy. You missed that episode. I put on my training wheels and learned about motocross. I didn't know very much about it.
I used to ride dirt bikes every day when I was in high school.
Yeah.
But what these guys do out here is amazing. I could never do that in a million
Above
years.
my pay grade.
And we're looking at like 10-year-olds and stuff that jump like it's crazy. We have a trainer here and a pro that teaches these young guys how to ride.
Yeah, he was here.
And they're riding almost every day out there.
Yeah.
But this weekend's the first event.
Yes.
So
it's full practice on Saturday. Again, socially distanced, masked, the whole nine. With a full moto on Sunday, starting at 10 a.m.
That's correct.
So if you're into motocross, starts up this weekend.
That is correct.
Yes.
And so the other thing is we couldn't wait any longer. We had to print our schedules
Had to.
sooner
Gotta
or
do
later,
it.
right?
Got to do it.
So we came up with we got a nice full color schedule. We got a nice brochure, and we have lots of them. If you have a business or if you could help us plant these around town where they're not going to get stolen because they're so cool.
They are pretty cool.
Help us out. We have them come to the office and come see us in the office, and we'll hook you up and get them out there.
Yeah, very poppy. They're very well done. Very well done.
Good job, Jake, on that.
Yeah. Hell of a
Jake
job.
does everything.
I was gonna say
Everything.
Jake's awesome. He's a Swiss Army knife with just about everything.
That's correct.
The one thing I wouldn't do is host this show.
Well, but you're producing it.
And everyone at home is probably happy.
We did have some hard chargers though. We had a lot of people come through the field. Peter Britton for the modifieds.
So at first look, you'd think, well, Tommy Meier won the race. He started 11th, which is pretty impressive.
Yes.
Peter Britton beat him for our charger.
Where did he start?
He started like 26th, I think.
Yeah,
or
17 spots.
Yes, and he came up to 7th at the end. So
We got in on the
Gotcha.
last chance qualifier.
yeah,
Oh,
so
that's right,
he
he did.
made a big run to the front.
Yeah.
And
this is sponsored. The hard chargers were sponsored by Barron's. Perfect. So Peter charged to the field in the modified, and Mike Bruno.
making a guest appearance from Vermont.
Yeah, I was going to say it was like a very long trip down the thruway.
Mike Bruno is the owner of Devil's Bowl Speedway in Vermont.
Yep.
Great guy, and he hasn't raced in 10 years. So he came out of retirement to win the Hard Charger Award.
There you go.
He asked me how much you paid today. I said, don't spend it all in one place, but we got $50 for you.
Hey, listen, man. Anytime you
That's-
can, anytime you can pick up a few dollars here and there, Mister. Come on.
No, seriously, everybody counts, and that's sponsored by Recon.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Perfect. So this is where I have in my notes where I have a little bit of a trivia question. So
Is this new to the show? We never
trivia?
Yeah.
This is actually new to the show. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for picking up on that.
All right.
I appreciate that. You're always there. You're always picking me up
For 2 tickets.
2 tickets for Saturday. I love that. I love that. Thank you for picking that up for me. I need that. I need somebody like that around me. Yes. So, the trivia question is, who was Jack Johnson's teammate that ran asphalt with the same team sponsor and colors? Again, who was Jack Johnson's teammate that ran asphalt with the same team sponsor and colors? First person in the comments will get 2 tickets for Saturday.
Correct answer.
All right.
The correct answer.
Well, that's kind of fun.
Correct answer, yes.
But why did you guys have to ask me what the answer was? Because you all didn't know. I had to tell you.
I love how you're looking at me.
And I am a historian.
Sir, when this happened, I wasn't even a thought yet.
You're
right.
I know I don't know the answer.
You are right.
We have a winner.
Already?
We have a winner. Neil Winter.
Neil Winter. Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the answer?
Yeah. The reason. So this was.
Tell him the answer.
Yes. All right. So I was assuming yes. So Richie Evans ran a
BR DeWitt.
Asphalt model.
BR DeWitt asphalt modified car in 1985. Correct? I'm looking at you, Doug. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
he
trying
lived throughout the 60s and 70s. He passed away in 85.
and
Eastern States Weekend.
Yes.
You have that info.
I do. But I just wanted to kind of touch on the fact that we did lose someone that is kind of on the Mount Rushmore of Northeast dirt modified racing, and that's where that kind of question came from. I personally never got to watch him race, but I've heard many stories. When
I first started traveling to other tracks in the early '80s, mid '80s, '90s, Jack Johnson was as tough as they got.
Yeah,
he was on his game, especially like in the mid '80s at Syracuse, and pretty much anywhere we went. So he had a lot of followers. He was a hero to a lot of people, and he's really had a tough finish year since he was injured in 2009. ALS, he's had a tough stretch, so he's definitely going to be in a much more peaceful place, and we hope that he rests in peace.
Yes. So, moving on.
And that being said,
we are going to bring on one of the only people to do it, or excuse me, to win championships in all divisions.
Yes, this is our guest tonight. He's done the most, I wouldn't say unthinkable, but I mean probably unpredictable thing.
Unpredictable is a good way to
we want to talk a little bit about our race on Saturday night, but
yep.
Let's introduce him. Tell him a little bit about Tommy.
Yeah, so Tom has won championships in the novice, the expert street stock, the sportsman, several small block championships, and a trio of big block championships.
So does that make him an underdog?
I would not like to think so. No, he's an Eastern States 200 winner.
All right, well, let's bring him up here and talk to him and see what he's got to say about that. Why not?
Always good to see you.
All right, so we do a very unique draw Saturday night. That we invented this thing called the Last Man Standing draw, and of course you got Stuart Freese and you got Matt Shepard in the draw, and the way the draw worked was we drew 12th place first at 11th. You guys stood in a square, randomly stood in a square of your liking, and it just worked out. And of all things, arguably the two best guys in the business the last several years start on the front row, right? You start 11th.
Yeah.
What do you think your chances?
You think it's a long shot, right?
You
We're
would
racing
think,
for
right?
a top five, but
Even if you won the heat race, right?
Yeah.
So you had to feel pretty good.
We felt good, yeah. We knew we had a good car, but starting position is always important, and those guys just run away.
Right, and I mean, it doesn't really normally doesn't even matter where they start, but they end up finding that they rise to the front somehow.
Yeah,
some way,
the
right?
advantages of being in the front are big.
Right, especially when a field that's stacked like that. And our field was stacked.
I was gonna say there was no junk. No junk in the pit area at all.
Right.
That was a stout field.
Right.
Yeah, no, good field. Yeah.
So that being said, a lot of the questions were like, you and I both know the cars are very similar. Everybody's got pretty much the same chassis, the same geometry, the same torque arms, the same coil spring, blah blah blah. And so, the question Sunday morning was, how could Tommy Meier be that good? And so you knew that you're coming to the front. You knew you just drove by the two best guys in the business, right? That were running 1-2, along with Anthony Prego, who's not too far behind.
No,
these guys.
He's no slouch here.
Absolutely.
You're running through these guys.
Yeah.
And the question on Sunday morning was, how could that be? We're all running basically the same stuff. He started 11th. How could that be? So what's your answer?
I think everything has to be perfect, and sometimes everything just winds up perfect. And feels like you can't do any wrong.
Right.
The tires, the car, the motor, the gear choice, the air pressure, everything.
Right.
And then sometimes you're in the right lane every time on restart.
Right.
Sometimes you can't be in the right lane. Other times you just can't do it wrong.
Right.
And it just opens.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm restarting fourth, and Anthony's to my left, and Stuart Freeze, and Matt Shepard up there, and behind Matt, he's going to go first. And lo and behold, I'm passing Stuart Friesen at the start-finish line. I'm like, what happened here?
So
Matt must have jumped. It's going to be flagged off.
So here's the more amazing thing, right? Tell me about the car engine that you run.
The car.
Tell me about the car.
The car's a 2013.
Right.
Bicknell. It's from back in the day.
Well broken in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
So-
got lots of repair work on it. Yeah.
So if you're like me, do you like everybody thinks, well, if I run my car a season, it's worn out. If you're like me, I actually have a 2006.
Oh, yeah?
Available to me when I want that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure it would be that anymore. But just a couple years ago, I won Devil's Bowl with the car.
Right.
Do you like when you have an old car like that? Do you feel like you're disadvantaged, or do you feel like, hey, I like this car?
No,
This is
not
a little standard.
Yeah, it's like it fits well. I mean, even though everything's been changed on it so many times, it's just
That's the car you won the Big Block Championship with, right?
yeah. It just sometimes you're just comfortable in one. And you can't seem to do much wrong with it.
And what about the
It's got different rear suspension on it now. It's got coil springs.
Right. It's not anywhere near the way it was.
No,
originally
it's
designed.
changed its
Right.
it's changed its thing.
But quite honestly, those frames haven't changed in 15 years anyway. Really,
No,
I mean,
they're-
they just added different bolt-on parts
Yeah,
to the outside.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really not really that much different.
Yeah. And last year we lost our primary engine right before Eastern States. We had a big explosion, and this is like a non-primary engine, we'll call it. We feel like it's near equal, but it was put together in 2009 with rebuilds along the way.
So that's what makes this even more unbelievable. I mean, I watched the video again this morning, and
It was
watching you go to the front, that was nothing crazy about that. You were a little faster than everybody else, but man, once you got to the front, it was insane. I mean, you just made everybody look silly. Like you said earlier, you said I had to run because when you got Matt Shepard and Stu Friesen behind you, you never can count that
better
out,
not lay down.
right? You can't count them out.
No, you can't at all. The minute you do, you're going to be passed. You just better assume they're right behind you.
So
That's the way I roll.
So that being said,
Just to interrupt you once.
you can.
I don't know, about 10 or 15 years ago, we're leading Eastern States in Pat's dad's car, and I led him for a lap car, and who darts right by me? You might remember. Kind of ruined our day there, though.
Sorry.
You don't let up.
That's right. So you can't.
Better, yeah.
You can't assume anything.
No.
So, but I mean, you literally put a straightaway on those guys in just a few laps. I mean, it was insane. And I mean, so you just ran to the front. You're running the race of your life, like I said, and then you get in victory lane. You're super happy and you're elated, and then you wake up Sunday morning and they're calling you a cheater. How does that feel?
It feels great, right? But that's part of it, I think. It's an unexpected person, coming up and winning.
Right.
With the stellar field that's there.
It's not supposed to happen.
No, it's not really supposed
But
to.
it happens in college basketball every once in a while.
And
You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
just-
think really like a modified car has so much potential to go faster every week, but we don't hit the nail on the head.
Right.
None of us do. And when someone really hits the nail on the head with everything, with their rhythm, with the track,
Yeah.
it has the potential to be that much better than the other ones.
Right. So that being said, we have a back-to-back bonus
Yeah,
of $500.
yeah,
I mean, are you feeling lucky to get that?
You and I will, though. We could just wash that car and come back, and it won't be the same.
Yeah, I do know
Yeah.
that. I do know that.
Whether it's the driver, like the rhythms of the night, aren't right.
Right.
The lane on the track,
Right.
hard to see where you need to be.
Yeah. I mean, I know from spending a little more time on the prep side of the track that even when you do the same thing twice, the track never comes out the same.
Yeah.
So that makes
Yeah.
I can tell you for sure that next time you come back here, it probably won't be exactly the way it is. I mean, I would like for it to be dust free, and I would like for it to be smooth. But I can't guarantee that you're going to find the same lane
Well,
or that
that's
line
it.
that you were able to find.
That
find
worked
Saturday
perfect
night,
for
right?
me. Yeah, hard to say. It changes so much. Yeah, and if it was 100 lapper, it probably would have changed before the end. Who knows what would happen.
But by that time, you probably would have been about a lap ahead of everybody else.
Well,
That's the way you were going.
yeah, it was
I'm
going
dead
good.
serious.
Yeah, it was
You
going
were-
real
you
good.
were going to go deep into the top 10.
Yeah,
As a
it's
pacer
going good.
runner.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, as soon as and I know we've already talked about this, but I was on your trailer that night because Mary Meier makes the best hot dogs in the pits. But as soon as you took the lead, I looked at Brendan Finley and I said, I gotta slow him down. I gotta slow him down right now. because I don't want something silly to happen. So I'm out there waving pool noodles around, trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
Big league, slow down.
Yeah, right.
It's funny how those kind of nights kind of happen, but I knew that you weren't looking for me. I mean, no one really unless you talk about it, and plan for it. There's no way that's your
You have to know where to look.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like we got you obviously got out of the box really well, but I think the track got out of the box really well. And you were saying earlier that you were really on the fence about whether or not you really wanted to run the full season, but you do have a small one too, right?
Yeah, small buck, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, we're going to start.
all right,
We're not going to run the whole season, though.
on the small box.
On the small buck, yeah.
Okay.
Modified we're going, yeah.
You're gonna take a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
Is that an age thing or is that just a lifestyle thing or what is that?
Yeah, lifestyle thing,
All right.
you know. We're going to do some camping on some weekends.
Okay.
You know.
All right. But obviously now you're the first guy notched into the next 8.
Yeah, isn't
You're
that
in
interesting?
the 5. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know how that's going to work,
I mean,
you know.
You could take a couple of weeks
Yeah,
off now
yeah,
and
but-
still be
yeah,
you'll come
that's
back
right.
and be in the 8
Yeah.
after July 10th. But it's what do you think about this schedule and this whole format and stuff like that?
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I like the fact, I'm a working man, and to fit a Thursday race in is okay, but to be ready again for Saturday is hard
Right.
with the same car, the same crew, and all volunteer type stuff. So now we don't have that. We race on Thursday, we have Saturday off.
A lot of people say that because originally when we did this schedule, a lot of people thought, well, you're gonna make us run Thursday and then come back again on Saturday.
It's hard.
And you and I
Yeah.
both know how hard that is. And
Yeah.
I said, no. If you race on Thursday, you're not gonna have to race on
Right.
Saturday.
Yeah, so that's what makes it work.
Okay.
Otherwise, it wouldn't work for me.
Okay. That's
To
good
try to
news.
be ready again for Saturday would be just like a horror.
Right. Who do you have work? I saw Cliff Airman working on
Yeah,
the cars.
yeah, Cliff's on.
Is Eric still around? Did he help you out? Alex?
Eric shows up for the big shows. He shows up for the big shows.
Yeah, the supervisor position.
Yeah.
Yes.
He works his
Who else can help you?
Oh, we have Ray, of course, CJ, Eunice. Those are guys.
All those guys down there.
Oh, yeah. And then everybody at the racetrack. There's just a lot of guys.
Nice spot.
That's good.
Mike Sparta. Well, we have sponsors also. Yes. We have Freddie Gibbs, Mike Sparta. A lot of people help. This takes so much money to do.
Yeah.
It just takes so many people to do it as well.
Yeah.
The money's one part of it,
The
and then
manpower.
the amount of manpower it takes.
Right.
It's just every night of the week.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, the people that have the money don't have the time, and the people that have the time don't have the money.
Yeah, right.
And that's
set
where
up
you gotta
boats
find,
so
you gotta
hard.
find the balance between
Yeah,
everything that
yeah.
makes it work, right?
Oh yeah, it's I've got so many people that help me. It helps.
And that's,
Makes it work.
And a lot of those people have been around you for a long time, obviously.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people. Yeah.
The North Jersey contingent.
Yeah. That's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
Oh, gosh. What do you got, Patrick? You got any tough questions for Tommy?
Well,
I mean, obviously,
but here's the thing, but I've been helping out you for, as long as I can ever remember. I was sitting in the stands with Mary and the girls.
a couple years old.
Yeah, and not understanding what was really going on, other than that red, white, and blue 33 to the front. That's what we're going for.
That's the attempt.
And eating maxi dough with Brienne and Shannon, and they're like, listen, it's not really a question, but I still remember my first Eastern States, which was when you had, I believe it was the 525 motor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That
the crate engine.
the crate engine that expired during qualifying.
Yeah.
So I nip in as a rookie. I nip in at in the back, and you take a provisional. Actually, no, you actually got a lap in.
Yeah.
You got a lap in, and it was obviously very good. But you had to change cars, so you were in a Gary Edwards car.
Yeah. Gary Edwards gave us a car.
And my first ever small block race.
Yeah.
Let alone Eastern States, let alone whatever. So we're taking, and this involves you too. Don't you think that you're getting away from this one? We're taking, pace laps, and we're kind of scrubbing around, and I'm starting on the inside, and I look over up to my outside, and the dude that I watched growing up and kind of idolized, you were starting next to me, I'm going, oh wow, I'm not in Kansas anymore. You know, like I'm used to racing with you know Cormier and Roger Hennion and at that point Little Rich Ricky and here we go. We're 10 laps into the race and I get the old chin strap. You got to adjust your chin strap as Brett Hearn's knocking me down going into one. I'm saying, oh, I gotta go now. So yeah, that's kind of like my first ever.
Did you pull your helmet down first?
I had to turn. I had to get in. So I was doing this. But yeah, down the back straightaway, I made sure to get out of the way in case anybody else was coming. And yeah, that's how I got my rookie stripe from you.
What year was your first year of modifieds? Big dog modifieds.
93. They were modified 93.
So you
Yeah.
got some laps here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I have to say that, you know, if you can even come close to duplicating what you did last Saturday night, you got a pretty good shot at this 25K.
Yeah, that would be
That
nice.
would be nice, right? That'd pay.
It's hard to do that. You know, I just feel like you have to be so spot on with everything.
Well, you got a good start. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
for sure.
you.
And
Thank you very much.
crazy part is that you didn't even change much all night.
No, we
You
put
didn't
around the
change-
wedge
I was
into
gonna
the
say-
race because it's just starting to dry out a little bit. The car felt
That's
good
it.
right from the start.
You literally, you know, you looking at my observation from the booth upstairs was that you were the only guy that was really turning left without a push. You know, you were turning left all the way through the corners. Everybody else was either too tight and trying to run the car loose to overcome that,
Yeah.
or
Start
they were just
sliding.
loose to begin with. You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
to me, in my mind, that's what made the difference. I mean, you just had that perfect balance, and you know, like you get like once a year.
Yeah,
kind
like
of
you
feeling.
strive for
That-
weekly. And
That's a feeling you always look for, but
Yeah.
you very rarely get.
And sometimes
Yeah.
you get it, but you're in the back.
Right.
You're racing in traffic all day.
You can't make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I just popped up there into the front through restarts and different things, and now you have that chance.
The one thing I like about the track like it was Saturday night is that, you know, there are some serious amount of options out there. And, you know,
a lot of racing
it's,
ones, yeah.
if anybody's ever raced at Middletown in any way, shape, or form, it's way more fun than the other options.
It's way more fun. We have lanes now that I used to call the no-go zone.
Yeah,
When you went there, it was a mistake,
right,
and you may be towed away.
right,
But now you have to race there.
yeah.
So,
It's
you know,
amazing. It's amazing fun.
I almost feel like for us regulars who've been doing this for so long, that's like a toxic area, and it's hard to bring yourself to go race there.
Right.
So we get some travelers coming in, and they don't know any different. They
Right.
just go.
They search a little
They
more.
know how to search more because they
Yeah.
travel more,
Right.
and it's different. We have to race. When have we raced against the fourth turn wall? We get towed off the fourth turn wall.
I mean, when you go out
We
there,
race there now.
yeah, it's crazy. And you know what?
It's far away.
2 years ago,
I was
when
gonna
we
say
first-
that's a
when we
long
first
way
did-
away.
We did the Centennial race. I was like, I never realized how ununiform the fourth turn
Yeah.
was. I thought you never looked out there, right? You're always looking down this way, and all of a sudden you're looking out this way and going, that wall's not even round. It's kind
I know.
It's kinda jagged, yeah.
So you can't really follow it going toward the wall,
Right.
And then on the restarts, you're looking at the width of the fourth turn, and you go like, oh man, this place got wide.
It's giant.
But
Yeah.
the walls are still in the same spot.
I
Yeah.
know. But
It's the craziest feeling.
oh,
You'll get some guys that are hub stuck in the bottom, and then you got somebody like Boniface or
Oh, yeah,
Perego
he'll
just
go rim ride.
bomb in the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
I mean, so what you're saying is like at first you were a little bit reluctant to search, but you're starting to
Yeah.
really get the hang of
You
where
have
you need
to
to be.
now. Yeah.
You got to search.
Oh yeah. You know, when you go down the straightaway heading for turn one, you never would race up there.
Right.
You'd crash into the wall.
Undeniably, right?
Yeah. Now you have to go race there.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that
You
we
know.
can. I'm hoping that we can keep that thing
Hopefully.
just like it is now,
Yeah.
or just like it was, and we get some great
The
races this year.
hats off to whoever prepped it. You, the guys.
It's a team.
It's.
We call it Team Zero. You know why?
I thought it had no hope. I'm telling
know.
you, you know.
I mean, look,
I've been telling you. I'm like, it's got no hope. It's
Look,
scrape it off.
we text many times
You
last
know?
year, and
Yeah.
you know, you tell me you got to take that stuff off. I'm like,
Yeah.
Mr. Larson just spent a lot of money to
Yeah.
put this on here. I got to make this work.
I got to figure this out.
Yeah, we talked about it quite a bit. You weren't that optimistic, and I kept on
No.
telling you, hang in there, man. I think I'm going to get this. I think I'm going to get this. You know?
Yeah.
And
what?
yeah, so we've
It's here.
nicknamed my track guys and myself, who we work side by side. We're nicknamed Team Zero.
Oh,
And
okay.
zero means zero dust. That's how we
All right, there you go. Good.
I thought it was a Scott
We had a
Blue
little
thing,
fun, a
but-
few laughs about that.
That's
It's
good.
It's a lot of fun.
That's good. That's what we needed.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's
Yeah, by the
It's 7:40.
well, before we wrap it up, we want
Yes.
to talk a little bit. Well, thanks for having thanks for
Yeah.
coming by.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
even though you're on my
Thank you.
neighbor on weekends, I haven't been to your place yet. But,
Yeah.
we are, planning to start to do some work towards the little track in the very, very near future. The first process is going to be put some pipes in where the waterway is and get that covered up, and hopefully see some progress here. I think they've been remapping the motocross track and changing the course in the last 2 weeks. They've been really working hard on that, so that had to get done for the event this weekend first, and then once that's done, you'll probably start to see some progress on the little track, and
if it's
we'll keep you updated on that.
if it's anything like the rookie class, I'm sure it's going to be a wild success.
Yeah, I
With,
mean,
with
I'm
turnout.
really excited to see how this pans out Saturday night with rookie sportsmen.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It should be a good show.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It should be a good show.
It's gonna be great. You're gonna be back, right? Small ball.
I'll be back. Yeah.
It's gonna be
I'll
back.
be back. Yeah.
Cool.
And we'll probably be just telling you, we'll probably be taking tire samples just to keep everybody happy.
Sure.
You okay with that? I'm just questioning, John. Hey, look, it goes to the territory.
Yeah.
As long as you understand that, then you're cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Because it felt like that. Let me
I
tell you.
know. It looked like that.
Thought I'm racing on 300s and they're on 400s.
Right,
Like,
right.
Did you get the memo?
right. Yeah, they changed that tire rule 2 years ago.
But,
Yeah, I
no,
know. But that was great, man. That's great. Awesome.
Well, thank
And,
you. Thank you.
I think the limited number of people that we had in the stands I saw a lot of fist bumps when you got the lead.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Nice. That's good.
Pretty cool.
Hometown guy, man.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Yes, they
There
do.
was a couple. The trailer was. I'm sure. It felt like it was off the ground because it must have been Mary Myers cheering.
Yeah, right.
So from all of us here in at the Speedway, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. Go watch the YouTube channel with the race on it. Key points here: small blocks and rookie sportsman for the Saturday,
Plus regular sportsmen.
plus regular sportsman. And what am I missing? Nothing. We good?
What do you know what?
Come out.
Come out and check it
Yeah,
out,
check it out.
Or
man.
stream it
Check it out.
online.
or stream it online. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
It's a wrap.
Good job.